why don't we hand out our own?
All right,
Ready?
let's do it.
So, Best Picture, also known as Best Game. This is what we had up as nominees. Leafs versus Oilers
nice touch,
from
JP.
Saturday night. Oh, okay. And the nominees are Super Bowl 57, Chiefs versus Eagles. Argentina versus France, World Cup Final 2022. Or you could write in some others if you wanted to, because this is more interactive than the Oscars. Before I tell you what the people have said and voted, Noodles, what's your best picture / best
Well,
game?
it's going to be not popular with you because you were like, "Nyeh." Like, to me, it was the NFL game, the Super Bowl. I thought that was great.
Stupid. No,
Like-
it wasn't. It's anticlimactic.
What do you mean anticlimactic?
The
It was
rules
a good game.
ruined
That
the
was-
game near the end. They just ran out the clock.
It was
so
an unbelievable
boring.
game. Like,
That's
that actually was great theater. And, like, to me, you had, Patrick Mahomes showed up, Andy Reid. Like, as much as okay, Saturday night's game, like, it wasn't that great of a game. It was a good hockey game. I've seen
It was a
20 of
regular
those this
season.
year.
Saturday night's game was like one of those Marvel kind of movies. It's good, it's entertaining, but you don't remember it after you leave the theater.
I know. This is what happened, and somebody got into my ear. It's because you're an Eagles fan, and they got rinsed. That's why. So that's
First of
why
all, they
you
didn't
gave
get rinsed. First of all, they didn't get, like...
Nobody remembers who came in second. So it's like, okay, the Kansas City won, and it was Mahomes' show. That's basically what happened.
Everyone's
right?
going to remember. You're right. Everyone's going to remember a missed call, like if it was a call earlier, not a call later, and everyone's going to remember how the ending was completely anticlimactic and boring, and how Mahomes actually barely touched the ball in the second half, and it was really a strong defensive game by the. Anyways,
Didn't have to.
All right.
It was fine. That was my vote is probably not your vote, but for me, it was a Super Bowl. I thought it was awesome.
All right, Andy, I have a feeling yours and mine are going to be the same thing, but I said it at the time. The World Cup final was the best sporting event I had ever seen in my life. Okay?
My life.
The equivalent of The Godfather and Goodfellas combined was this soccer game. The star power going head to head, the comebacks, the momentum shifts, the saves, and then penalty kicks, and of course, Leo Messi at the end of it all. You couldn't beat it. It was such a spectacle in front of like almost 90,000 people. It's a no-brainer for me.
and the people agree. 57.1 have voted for the World Cup final. Oh, I guess it's okay. This is live, ladies and gentlemen, live. This is different from what I have on my phone. But
okay.
56.9. So
I should have changed my vote. Actually, now thinking about that World Cup final, it was pretty good.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
It was the Messi Mbappe
The
show.
Super Bowl was like a good movie that just had the worst ending, and you're walking out of the theater, and everyone's looking at each other like, "What? They couldn't find a better ending than that?" The script writers for the NFL got that one wrong.
Well, I don't know about that. It just unfortunately it just went against the Eagles. But I thought it was a great game.
Stop trying to defend your choice. It's not going to win. World Cup wins. Messi also, he was the star, which is nice because here's the thing too. It kind of would have been a little wah-wah if Argentina won and Messi wasn't a factor. But there was no way he wasn't going to be a factor. He was a factor the entire World Cup. He is brilliant in that game. Kylian Mbappe. So if Messi's the GOAT, he's like the baby GOAT. He got a hat trick in that one. Then it goes into penalty.
He's the
kicks.
next one, Andy Mbappe.
Yeah. It was just brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So that one wins. Best director, as in best coach. Andy Reid. Noodles.
Yep.
Jim Montgomery. Michael Malone. Or if other people wanted to write in and have your say, I'm going to have Frankie go first on this one.
Okay. I'm going to say Jim Montgomery because when I watch a movie and the movies that seem to win awards have a great story, but more importantly, they have a comeback story with a second chance. And that's what Jim Montgomery has been given with the Boston Bruins. You think about the way things kind of ended up in Dallas, and now he's been given this new life. He took a team that a lot of people were counting out at the start of the year, and they are the best team in the league. They are dominant, and they are poised to win the Stanley Cup, maybe breaking a few records along the way if they haven't already, which I think they have. That is the best director, Jim Montgomery.
I am with you on that. I love a feel-good story. And listen, Jim Montgomery himself, we're not telling tales out of school here. He's been very open and honest and going into rehab. and alcohol abuse and how he needed help, and he asked for help, and he was open and honest, and he shared his story, and he got help, and he's now this man who just has feels like obviously has his new lease on life. He's joined the Boston Bruins. They're the fastest to 50 wins, right? Like, I mean, whatever they're
fastest
doing,
to 100 points, maybe 2, something like that. Yeah.
Whatever is happening over in Boston is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's so wonderful for him to be a part of that story too. And that's why, when we're talking about great comeback stories, it's got to be Jimmy for me.
I'm getting, I'm going to make it a sweep. I'll give Jimmy Montz, who's a friend of the show. I know Jimmy very well. You're right, reclamation project, but done a great job in Boston, and that team doesn't seem to be slowing down. They hit the 50 game mark there, the 50 wins, and then they lost to Detroit in the back-to-back. But I mean, they are a serious team. He's doing a great job there.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Best Lead Actor, which at the actual Oscars, I didn't know. I have yet to see The Whale, but Brendan Fraser to me will always be the dude in The Mummy and Encino Man. But I'm hearing it was a brilliant performance, so he ended up getting Best Actor over Austin Butler, which I did see Elvis. If you haven't seen Elvis, watch the movie.
I know, but Austin Butler now, Austin Butler now has to drop the like he's not Elvis anymore. The movie's over. Like every time you see him interviewed, like he's now talking like Elvis.
But I feel like that's his voice in some ways. He's always kind of had a little bit of that voice, because I may or may not have been a fan of his since his Nickelodeon days.
I'm just saying, like, he's got to drop that now and move on to the next thing, because Tobey Maguire doesn't show up in a Spider-Man suit when he's moved on to everything. Like, I saw him interviewed the other day, Austin Butler, and I'm like, all of a sudden he's still talking like Elvis. And I get that he's Southern and all of that type of stuff, but like, that's not your role anymore. You did a good job. Move on.
Let me tell you something, though. There's nothing wrong with that voice. You know what I'm saying? So if he wants to,
fair enough.
He wants to keep it going. All I'm saying is I'm a fan.
All right.
See, but it was also, it would have been, it's just a missed opportunity that if Austin Butler won, imagine if he got up and he was like, thank you very much.
He would have done that. Of course he would have done that. It would have
been so brilliant. Anyways, but congratulations to Brendan Fraser. All right. Best Lead Actor. Music continues. Connor McDavid. Lionel Messi. Patrick Mahomes. Noodles?
McDavid. McJesus. Like, he's putting what he's doing is pretty ridiculous. We laid eyes on it the other night. Like, that, this guy does this every night. I'm in Edmonton. I'm doing the game tomorrow. Like, I've seen him live a bunch of times. Like, this guy is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's having a season, too. So, for me, it's McDavid.
He is ridiculous, but I'm going to go in a different direction with this. I'm going to go with the Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes, because he lost his star wide receiver in Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins, and that didn't seem to matter. And all throughout the season, all you heard was, who's the MVP? Is it Josh Allen? Is it Joe Burrow? Is it Tua? Is it this guy? Everyone except Patrick Mahomes. But at the end of the day, all the frauds were weeded out, and the last quarterback who remained standing was Patrick Mahomes. It was a story about resilience and perseverance, and he is the best lead actor.
We're going different here, and we'll bring up the poll, but I've got to stick with Messi, because it ended in a trophy. Like, not only was he brilliant in his leading role, because he truly took a leading role, but it ended in a trophy. And
so
I don't
did Mahomes.
But anyways, so what Connor McDavid is doing...
Not in her mind.
What Connor McDavid is doing...
The only trophy that matters to Andy.
Brilliant. So to me, McDavid would be second, even though on the poll, at least what I have here right now, 57% are going... Oh, now it's gone up. 58% are going McDavid, which I can completely understand. And then, of course, Messi's coming in at second at 26.5. But, like... To me, Connor McDavid, I just don't want to be talking about a brilliant player who's never won. And he's still so young in his career. I mean, listen, I get it. We were having these conversations about Ovechkin, and then look, he ended up getting his cup. I get that. But I want to see it end. I like when things end with trophies. Yeah. So that's why I'm going Messi.
Yeah. All right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That's a good point.
All right. No real pushback on that. Okay.
Well, we weren't going to push back. I mean,
we already pushed back.
We pushed back on other things. You're fine with it. And he made a great point about Patrick Mahomes. You're like, Mahomes, you're like, it doesn't even count. He's like, I didn't win. Oh, he did win.
I guess he won the Super Bowl. I guess they have a trophy
and
for
the
that
MVP.
too.
Yeah.